Hey guys, good to see you. Thanks for joining me. And if you can hear me okay, if you don't mind, just go ahead and type yes into the comments. And we'll go ahead and get started. Today, what we're going to be talking about is buying your next home without wasting time and also without getting all stressed out about it. So what we're specifically going to talk about is one of your contingencies. We're going to talk about your inspection contingency. So when you purchase a house, you're going to probably get a home inspection. And so we're going to talk about when you should remove your contingency, what you should do, what you should not do. So that's what we're going to talk about today. That could save you a lot of money. Could also save you a lot of time and keep you from getting stressed out in this process of buying a home. So before we get started, just want to let you know, if you're really serious about buying a home or serious about selling a home, give us a call. We would love to give you some advice, point you in the right direction. We'll do that for you whether you choose to work with us or not. We're just happy to help you any way we can. So to schedule that, you can go to showcasecall.com, and there's a scheduler there. You can just click a few buttons and get scheduled with us. So let's go ahead and get back to it. What we're talking about, what we're talking about right now is we're talking about buying your next home. And that can be a stressful process sometimes, and it can also be very time consuming. And so we want to show you some ways that you can save time and you can also cut down on those stress levels. And once you find a house and you make an offer, your offer gets accepted, and you go into escrow, one of the things that you're going to do is, or you're probably going to do, is get a inspection on the home. And when that inspection report comes back, the inspection report's probably going to list some things that are not working in the home. Could be some things that the lifespan, like for example, a water heater. Water heater might have a certain number of years that it typically works before you have problems. The inspector might note on the inspection report that the hot water heater is working fine, but might note that there's not a lot of life expectancy left. So you're going to have items like that. You might have other items that are really expensive to repair. Could be foundational items, things like that. So the report is going to show appliances that aren't working. So if the home has a dishwasher and that dishwasher isn't working, that's going to be listed on the home inspection. You might have items related to the plumbing, to the electrical system. So the inspections, tends to be very, very detailed. And when the report comes back, there may be some items on there that you weren't expecting to need to be repaired. And so you, along with your real estate agent, may go back to the seller and say, hey, I'd like for these items to be repaired before I buy the house. Or they might say, hey, I'd like for the price to be reduced on the house because I'm going to have to come out of pocket and fix all of these things. So that's a very important part of the process. And that ties into one of your contingencies, which is your home inspection contingency. And that's what we're going to talk about next and show you some do's and don'ts. But before I forget, if you're just joining us, if you're really serious about buying a house or selling a house, give us a call. We would, whether you want to work with us and hire us to help you, or you don't want to work with us, either way is cool. We're happy to just give you some great advice based on what you're looking to accomplish and point you in the right direction. And so we'd be happy to do that. And you can schedule a time to talk just by going to showcasecall.com. And once you're there, click a few buttons and get scheduled with us. We'd be happy to talk with you and see how we could help you in this process of buying a home or selling a home, or if you're doing both of those things together. So let's go ahead and get back to it. What we're talking about is loan contingency, your home inspection contingency. Typically that's 17 days. And what that means is once the contract's accepted, you typically have 17 days to get your home inspection completed. Now, the only reason I say typically is because sometimes offers are made and the home inspection contingency is completely removed at the time of the offer. And sometimes shorter inspection or longer inspection periods are written into the contract, but typically it's 17 days. And that just means you've got 17 days to get your inspection completed. And the seller of the home is expecting you after those 17 days to remove the contingency. Once you start to remove your contingencies, like your inspection, which is what we're talking about, your loan approval, and your appraisal, once you remove those contingencies, you're basically forfeiting your earnest money deposit up to 3% of the sale price. So you're forfeiting your earnest money deposit if you back out of the deal. And so that's what brings us to the point that we want to make today. And that is, if the seller is not willing to do any repairs on the home, and you've gotten to that point where they've said they're not going to make any repairs, what are you going to do? You know, are you going to move forward or are you not going to move forward? And that's where this part comes in. You don't want to remove your inspection contingencies until you've actually settled with the seller on whatever repairs or price reduction, whatever credits you're looking for. You got to make sure that you've settled with them before you remove your contingencies. Otherwise, if you remove your contingencies and you haven't come to an agreement on what they're going to fix, then they can just say, hey, well, we're not going to fix anything. You've already removed your contingencies. And then at that point, if you were to back out of the deal, what's going to happen is you're going to lose your you're eligible to lose your earnest money deposit. The seller could still, you know, agree to refund that back to you or a certain percentage of it. But they're, at that point, contractually, they're able to keep up to 3% of the purchase price or your total earnest money deposit, you know, as long as it doesn't go over that 3%. So that's our tip for today. I can tell you right now, when you start dealing with your earnest money deposit and you start dealing with negotiations over repairs, and you start you know, looking at the different things that could be wrong with the house or might go wrong with the house, you can start to get stressed out. You can start to worry, you know, is the house going to be a money pit? Am I going to have to just keep putting money into this? And that's why, you know, if you take a look at the repairs and the seller's not going to do enough, or the seller isn't going to do anything as far as the repairs go, or to lower the price, you know, then you've got to decide, are you going to continue this or not? Are you going to back out of the deal? And it's cool if you back out. You just want to be sure that you're able to get your earnest money. And so that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about keeping that contingency in place. And, you know, one last thing, kind of before I forget, is if you are serious about buying a house or you're serious about selling a house, give us a call. We would be happy to help you out any way we can. We can just take whatever, 15, 20 minutes or so, talk to you about what you're looking to accomplish, when you're looking to accomplish it, and see if we can help you, point you in the right direction. If you, from that call, if you decide that you want to work with us, that's cool. If you don't want to work with us or you're undecided, that's okay too. You know, we're not gonna chase you around and text you all the time or call you all the time and all. So if you're interested in that, that sounds pretty good to you, just go to showcasecall.com. Once you're there, you can click a few buttons and get scheduled with us for a time to talk. And so just to kind of recap what we talked about today, when you're buying another house, it can get kind of stressful. So one of the ways to keep that stress off of you is to make sure that you don't prematurely remove your home inspection contingency. And what we mean by that is if you get your home inspection done and there's items that you want to get repaired, or you want to get a price reduction or a credit, then you need to get all of those things worked out in writing and signed off on by the seller, by both parties, so you and the seller. Get those things signed off on before you remove your home inspection contingency. You might have the listing agent and the seller coming at you and saying, hey, you need to get these things removed. You need to get this contingency removed, but don't do it if you're still in negotiations and you haven't come to that, final agreement. Okay, hope you found that helpful. And if you are thinking about selling or buying, if you're really serious about it, give us a call. We'd love to point you in the right direction, give you some great advice. And there's never any obligation or pressure from us. We're a real no pressure kind of guy, kind of company. So you can go to showcasecall.com and you can click a few buttons to get scheduled with us. All right, take care. See you next time.